All right, so let's talk about the Canadian banking system. So our Canadian banking system is made up of the central bank, which is the Bank of Canada, and our charter banks. RBC, HSBC, CIBC, Bank of Nova Scotia. I think you know what I'm talking about. So let's go back to the origins of our banking system. So once again, our original bankers were goldsmiths, and people, the public, would keep most of their life savings, which is their gold deposit, with goldsmiths because it was safe. You're not probably going to get robbed and lose all your gold. So with Goldsmith, like any business people, they're always trying to find new ways to make more money. So what the goldsmith noticed is that very rarely did people take out their entire deposit of gold. That people would have gold coming in, they would deposit some gold, and they will take some gold to make transactions. So very rarely did people just clean out their account. So these goldsmiths were probably thinking, well, is there another way to make more money? And they figured out, hey, you know what? I can lend out some of my clients' gold deposit and charge interest. And that's how the banking system started. That very rarely people would take out their entire savings of gold, which will then enable the goldsmith to lend out their clients' gold and charge interest. So if you actually think about that, and if you think about our current banking system, that's exactly what they do. We put money in, and we rarely take it all out. So when we go to the bank and we put our money in, the bank gives us, like, I don't know, maybe 1% if you're lucky. And when you go to the bank to borrow money, they're going to charge you 4%. Like, well, that's just like brilliant. So that is how the banking system started. So the fact that the gold deposit or deposit money was able to be lent out over and over again, this is called the principle of fractional reserves. So in today's modern financial system, our banks only hold a very small portion of every dollar that gets deposited, and then they lend out the rest. So I would tell you this totally terrifying number, that for every dollar you deposit into the bank, that the bank probably lends out about 97 cents, and they keep about 3 cents every dollar to meet the day-to-day withdrawals of its customers. So if you think about our banking system, it is kind of like a house of cards. So moving on to the assets of our charter banks or our commercial banks, the assets of charter banks are, liquid assets, T-bills, and short-term commercial paper, convertible instantly into cash. So that means that if there's a run on the bank, the commercial banks, can sell some of their T-bills and short-term commercial papers to make sure that they have enough money for people to withdraw. The other thing that they hold is they hold Government of Canada bonds and high-grade bonds. But these assets is convertible, but there could be risk in terms of selling them at a lower price than what they bought them for. And the other last assets of the charter banks are loans, but that is only if people pay them back. So during times like this, in a recession, loans can be a bit sketchy because people during a recession will tend to default on loans. So that could really hurt the banking system in a recession.